Hey, Eric.
What's up, Chris?
I am here to address the allegations.
The controversy.
Yes, we are not magic. We did not summon the recently announced Lunar Remastered Collection, which was announced, 2 days after we recorded our
first couple
of episodes. So we did not discuss that as one of the versions of this game because we did not know about it yet. Many folks across the internet, like all 12 of you, have thanked us for summoning the remaster. We'll do something with it when it comes out. We'll look at it on a stream. We'll figure it out.
We'll do whatever Chris is going to do with that Suikoden collection.
What am I going to do with it? Oh, yeah, I was going to play it and then talk to you about
That's it.
Yeah, Chris explains to Eric what he noticed. The thing was that when that Suikoden collection was going to come out last year, the translation or the localization of the first two games was fresh on my mind. So I would be able to easily go in there and...
But now it is all fucked.
Now
so let's just informally commit to doing a bonus episode with our early interpretations of that game.
Yeah, let's do something like that. So I'm sure there will be some localization things especially in the Suikoden games that are noticeable. So we'll see. Anyway, you want to hear some hot sounds I recorded?
You mean hot sounds I recorded?
Welcome to Retrograde Media, a comprehensive podcast covering classic Japanese role-playing games, chapter by chapter, beat by beat. Welcome to Season 7, covering Lunar, the Silver Star. My name is Chris, and I am joined by my fellow Silver Star, Eric. Hi.
Do you think if you said covering all of the Lunar Silver Star stories, it would be contextually accurate, but would piss people off who think you're calling it the Silver Star stories?
Yeah, that would probably annoy some people. I don't want to annoy anybody.
Okay.
At least not yet. So I'm going to say Lunar the Silver Star for the foreseeable future, but you people know what we're doing, right?
All of the Silver Star stories that we're doing.
All the stories. Thank you. We're also joined by the RealNet, a collective of premium individuals who are watching us record this podcast live on a secret video feed at patreon.com/retroam.
We're also joined by the Fake Net, our post-production robot from the future, who is protecting herself from the sun with one of the umbrellas from Paris All-Stars.
Initializing Fake Net.
Bobby, and me are taking a beach vacation at the end of this season, without either of you.
Hello, FakeNet.
Hello, Chris.
Do you like how I called the RealNet a collective of premium individuals?
Yeah, I don't really know what that means. Premium to me is usually attached to food items. So I'm like, are you going to eat the RealNet members, or are they just being presented in a way that exalts them and puts them higher and higher than other regular listeners?
Well, they have access to our premium content, but also they are premium individuals. They are good people who support us, chat with us, help us out. So I was trying to think of another word to describe
Special recognition,
Yes.
And you settled on premium, not advanced or special, just...
No, I don't know if every single RealNet member is advanced. That I have not been able to confirm, but I have confirmed they are all premium. So, Eric, it took us 2 whole episodes to cover all of the background information on Lunar. As I said earlier in the RealNet chat, Lunar goes hard before it even starts.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much out there to talk about in terms of how this game came to be. So now we are ready to kind of dip our toes into the game.
I mean, we're not really. We still skipped one last section from the previous time, the expectations
Oh,
section.
yeah. Yeah. This is our expectations. We typically do this on the first episode where we discuss what we expect to learn about the game.
How we expect to feel it. How you think your mind brain from 2024 will treat the game that you last played. I don't think we established this. You only played this game once before, right?
I played this game once, but also I dormed this game. The original Let's Plays, when you would just watch your dorm mate play the game, that's what I have experienced with this game as well. I may have played it twice. I don't remember. So, Eric, expectations, what do you got?
I expect Silver Star Story Complete to reset my idea of the default 16-bit RPG, the variety of which countless modern indie games seek to emulate through either 16-bit style tile sets or cheeky, borderline self-aware scripts. Kind of like this in Earthbound. Like everything wants to be Earthbound or this.
And,
Chrono Trigger. Everything also wants to fucking be Chrono Trigger.
I saw a new Chrono Trigger, for lack of a better term, a new Chrono Trigger game get announced the other day. And it is like just Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, they're just doing that again. Like, I know everybody loves Chrono Trigger, but I think it's time to move beyond. Let's make another Chrono Trigger.
Like something that is, I think is really interesting about the recently released game UFO 50. Have you checked out UFO 50?
No, it's on the personal computer. I'm waiting for a console release.
Oh, okay. Well, I have it on my personal computer. And something that is neat about that, it's a collection of 50 like fake retro games, basically. And I think there's like 8 or 9 developers that worked on that one. But you can see with almost every game that they took 2 concepts to say, like, what if Super Dodgeball, but also
on ice skates
and Windjammers and also Samurai. You can very clearly see that there's 2 or 3 concepts and they smash them together and see what comes out. But I feel like with a lot of these indie games, specifically the Chrono Trigger inspired ones, is like, what if Chrono Trigger again? And then that's the end of the sentence. I need more.
I get it, because if you want to make your old JRPG, you want to have something that is people have heard of that you're trying to emulate, right? And there's no bigger prize than Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
But if you're going to say, hey man, I'm going to make the Xenogears of modern JRPGs, people are going to be like, what? Most people don't know what Xenogears is. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those rock and a hard place, damn if you do, damn if you don't type things.
Yeah. Like I really like what they're doing. The developer Something Classic, our friend of the show, Patrick Holloman.
Many friends of the show,
yes.
Yeah,
Patrick Holloman, who works for them. They're making a game that is, I don't know if this is their design philosophy, but when I look at it, it's called Quartet. When I look at it, it's like, what if Final Fantasy VI, but short?
Oh, that sounds great.
Take it.
Wonderful.
Give me that shit. All right.
That's exactly what I need.
Anyway.
I expect expressive but limited characterizations of heroes and villains, and other than Galleon, characters who are restricted to black and white depictions of morality. I expect this to be the 1993 Saturday morning cartoon, but with 90s JRPGs. It doesn't have to worry about submitting to genre tropes and cliches because it was one of the games to actually define those tropes and cliches.
I have a very similar take on my expectations. I kind of wrote mine in the forms of questions. I want to, I guess, re-answer when I'm going through the game this time. I want to know, to what degree does Lunar surpass the standard fantasy hero's journey type of thing? Because when you look at Lunar on paper or just look at pictures of it, it looks like, hey, there's a guy with a sword and a girl, and they're going to go fight dragons, right?
Yep, that's it.
And that's
the story.
That's what it is. And I would like to know, to what degree does Lunar surpass those fantasy tropes? Because in my memory, it's just one of those. Yeah. A very good one of those with some terrific moments, but...
And it was a lot of the first one of those people played with JRPGs, right?
Yeah. That's exactly the direction I'm going with my next question, too. I want to know, how do these characters break the mold of the typical fantasy anime archetypes?
What did it for people back then?
Yeah.
What separated it from, I don't know, whatever games people didn't actually pick up and play?
Was it just the anime? Was it just the Sega CD voice acting? Or is there something more to this game that we need to rediscover? I don't know. I expect to like this game less than I did originally.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I don't know why. I haven't played nearly as much of it as you have to this point, but I feel like those fantasy tropes are going to be so on the nose, just based on my experience with the first couple hours of the game, that I'm going to get tired of it. But I do think I'm already appreciating this game's contributions and its value to the entire JRPG continuum, especially when it comes to localization.
Yeah, how foundational it was in a lot of aspects.
Yeah.
Any more questions for yourself?
Also, anime. Also, I'm going to be doing this bit here, and when it comes to the localization, where I'm going to sprinkle in a couple of lines here and there from the official Working Designs Prima strategy guide or whatever,
right,
into our conversations, because I'm wondering how long this bit can last, because they are bad.
Right, yeah. We talked about the chapter on sucking dick in the last episode.
Yes. And the word cringe gets thrown around a lot nowadays.
Yeah.
But
you think it's earned it?
Reading through this book, it re-earns the title of cringy, despite that term being a little bit over-deployed these days.
Can I have another question that I want us to answer on the final episode?
Yeah.
How many years should Victor Ireland be in prison?
Well, okay, so he said it. He said he was Working Designs, right?
We have that on tape.
He said it.
I mean, Working Designs is me, pretty much, because I wrote or edited every single game we did.
So I can attribute all the fucking shit in the strategy guide to him, too, right?
We have 2 quotes, and maybe he's just, riffing, but he said, I am Working Designs, and he said that he wrote everything.
Did he write the strategy guide, too?
That's a good question. It has that tone, doesn't it? There has to be an ISBN number and what's that called? Letterhead page about who actually wrote the shit.
I was looking to see if it's on there. Can we read the promotional page for the strategy guide before we get started?
Absolutely.
Started with it?
That's like a prologue.
Yeah. Awful.
Chris, read me the promotional page.
You are about to begin reading the best Lunar walkthrough ever committed to the printed page. We are nothing if not humble, with maps of every major location, pictures of every major event, and text which takes you gently by the hand and patiently guides you through the game from start to finish. You will also be shown where and how to collect all 13 of the game's super secret and super naughty bromides. And if that doesn't get you excited about this section, darn it, then nothing will. We also have a simple plea to make in this introduction. Talk to everyone you can.
Done.
Yes, thank you. This is our instructions on making a podcast, not playing the game. Talk to everyone you can find as you enter each new location. Keep revisiting earlier towns as you progress through the game to speak with the citizens again. The vast majority of the text in Lunar, roughly 2 megabytes large for you computer geeks out there.
Holy smokes.
Computer geeks scoring at home, excuse me. Is conversation that occurs after you meet someone for the first time. What a shame it would be for you to miss all that florid prose, all those plot points, and all those dumb jokes because you're in a hurry to finish. Lunar is a world to be explored, not a chore to be finished. Okay, that wasn't too bad.
It's all right.
But here's the last line.
Uh-huh.
You know what we're saying, homie?
Oh.
Enjoy the walkthrough and enjoy the game.
Love it when my strategy guide refers to me as its homie.
Yeah.
We power on our PlayStations and hear the undefeated PS1 Power On screen. Chris, let me hit you with some copyrights.
Yeah?
We got 1992 Game Arts.
Mm-hmm.
We got 1996 Katakawa Shoten Publishing Game Arts Jam.
Jam.
We got 1998 Katakawa Shoten Publishing ESP Game Arts. And
Yeah.
we got 1999 Working Designs.
That would be Victor Ireland.
Music, yeah, as we've noted.
Sorry.
Music Wings plays.
Yeah.
We're flying over a sparkly blue body of water. Jennifer Stigall, Luna's singing voice, also handles the vocals here.
Initializing FakeNet.
We're listening to the instrumental version on the show, so these two Muppets don't talk over the singer.
Working Designs presents a Katakawa production in association with Game Arts and ESP Jam. Then the melody kicks in as a white, legally distinct luck dragon flies across the screen and into the open sky.
Mm-hmm.
It disappears as the camera lingers on a frozen blue planet. We then see the Lunar Silver Star Story complete title card before the luck dragon whisks it all away.
Now, before we get deeper into this, in my world, in 1999 when I'm playing this game, no video game had ever presented itself like this.
It's like open with anime?
Like, I'm not embarrassed to be anime.
Oh,
Like,
wow, just
yeah.
proudly doing it.
I'm proudly anime, and it's not like... Because back then, you had to be, like, edgy anime. You had to be, like, boobies and blood anime.
Or, I mean, Xenogears had the throbbing drum intro and then the anime space sci-fi
Yeah,
thing.
and it did advertise, like, the fact that there were, like, so many hours of anime cutscenes in the game. But,
Yeah.
like, it wasn't...
You didn't even push start yet. Lunar just launched with this.
But that game is dark. You know, that game has a dark,
Fuck yeah, it is.
a dark tone to it. And this is like spirited and hopeful and beautiful. And there's a
It is
vocal
jubilant.
song. Yes, and the song could be from like a My Little Pony movie. It could be, and it's proud of it.
It's here instead.
And I think that's what would help draw me in.
Even when you were 18 playing this for the first time, it still worked on you as it would if you were 13 or 12.
I didn't know that I needed it,
Oh, wow.
but I needed
Yeah,
it.
do you know what kind of anime you were into at the time you were playing this?
In '99,
Yeah. Did you play this? You played it at release 99, right?
yeah, I
Okay,
played.
all right.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if your dorm thing was all right.
So Dragon Ball and like whatever edgy shit I could get my hands on, because anime was not easy to come by back then. So I had like the typical, like, you want to show your friends anime back then was like Ninja Scroll and Akira.
Okay, so it's still a novelty that anime is coming into your life.
Sometimes you could go to the video store and find a copy of Eat Man, but
Ooh.
yeah, you know.
So I'm hesitant to describe the next parts of this video because I think a lot of it is composed of sequences from the actual game, and most of those seem like spoilers.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Chrono Cross intro.
This is basically an attract mode, it's not the intro video. According to the manual, Victor Ireland rewrote the lyrics himself based purely on vibes.
Oh, he is a vibes guy, isn't he?
The manual contains both his edit and the more literal translation of the song Wings. Either way, it sounds like something that would have introduced a TV show imported to Nickelodeon in the early 90s, in my adult brain estimation of my kid brain thoughts. We then get to the title screen where the Lunar logo blings, music Silver Light plays. We see the game logo, a silver star positioned in front of the eternal blue ice planet. We're offered the opportunity to press the start button. Below that, though, we see important information. It's called the copyright.
Oh.
92 to 96 Game Arts. 92-98 Katakawa Shoten ESP Jam. We love all them. In English translation, 1999 Working Designs.
Mm-hmm.
We get three options. New game, continue option. You go to the options, Chris. You see what's there?
I
For you to optionize?
I forgot to optionize.
Fucking shit. Sound. Stereo or mono.
Oh, cool. I like stereo.
Change lines, equipment or item.
Change lines.
I think it's some kind of menu preference thing. I don't actually understand what that means.
Okay.
Message advance, auto or manual.
Yeah.
Message speed, fast, regular, or slow. You know what default is?
Fast?
Fast.
Yeah. I toned it down to see what it would, and it was too slow.
All right, how do you like this one? Shock, no or yes?
Oh, I have shock on, but my emulation does not support shock.
Oh, no. I'm rolling with shock.
Oh, okay.
Name spells, no or yes?
Name spells?
I think when people talk.
Like, check this out?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't actually know. Let's hit new game, fade to white. Before we do that, though, let's hit the power button on our Sega CD.
Oh, you got one of those too?
Yeah.
You got to turn that on the Genesis and the Sega CD, or is just one power button?
There's just one power button. The Sega CD kind of bolted into the Genesis.
Okay.
And then you just can, the Genesis
sends
power
the power into the Genesis grid.
Yeah, but here's some other fucking shit, is that the Sega CD had its own fucking power brick.
So you got to plug in 2 shits?
If you had a 32X, you had to plug in 3 shits.
Wow.
That, like, your normal power strip could not fit 3 shits, dude.
No, this was back before power strips were $19.99.
They have since invented a all-in-one 3-piece thing that I bought off the internet, and my house hasn't got set on fire yet.
Congratulations.
Let's play the Model 2 Sega CD boot up sound effect, the best one. Mm-hmm. That music that plays whenever you turn on a Sega CD. Oh, yeah, there it is. Holy shit. I'm going to need you to listen to the song that plays over the Sega CD intro. The song is so good and the Sega CD bitmaps are so goddamn gorgeous. Just full screen, pixel perfect character portraits. I was blown away by this song and these visuals. I'm playing the full song here right now. I don't give a shit. It's 1 minute and 45 seconds. You can handle it.
Wow. Thank you for that. It is even less embarrassed to be anime than the remake.
The Japanese version is good too. That also is going to close out all our episodes. We'll put the Japanese one in sometimes. I want to show an appreciation for the Genesis Sega CD color palette. It could display 64 colors on screen from a global palette of 512 colors, Chris.
Oh, wow.
And that led to some very creative decisions. The Super Nintendo had access to 32,000 colors in 256 at the same time. This is one of the many reasons Genesis games looked fundamentally different during the 16-bit console wars. What was a weakness in the early 90s now stands 30 years later as a generationally unique asset to the console. No other game looks like this shit. I started a new game on Sega CD Music. Althena Shrine plays, and goddamn, that goes hard too. Is the Sega CD secretly going to be the best version?
Oh, I don't know.
Chris, you know what? We have one more platform.
Oh, is it the PlayStation Portable?
Huge goddamn swerve, Chris.
Yeah?
Play that PlayStation Portable boot sound effect. Okay. Most people remember the opening musical number, Wings, had different lyrics by the same vocalist, Jennifer Stigall. But Silver Star Harmony on PSP added a prologue featuring the 4 heroes in their day and age.
Oh, really?
And it sucks. But
Really?
we're going to go through it right now.
Okay.
We have to. It is the way of things.
Okay.
Here's the problem.
Yeah?
It also spoils a major part of this video game.
Really?
So if for some reason this is your first time playing Lunar, You want to play along with us? Skip to podcast timestamp.
39 minutes, 45 seconds.
Thank you.
All right, let's get into this Silver Star Harmony PSP Prologue, because we have to do the PSP Prologue first. We can't just launch into the actual game.
Yeah.
It's the prologue.
Okay.
Music. What do you think this song's called? You've never heard it before. What is your mysterious Lunar song name?
Moon Lovers.
You're close.
Yeah.
Cry of the Black Star plays.
Okay.
We find ourselves in the fucked zone of the future past. The goddess Althena stands alone on a platform thing. Eiffel, an entirely masked person with one white and one red eye, teleports into the arena. Eiffel speaks.
Goddess Althena, for far too long, you alone have stood as the master of this world. It is at this time indeed that the world awaits a new god, and I shall be that god.
Okay.
Chris, who do you think Eiffel is voiced by? Who is your number one voice actor for anime and video games? Who do they get in 2010 for this PSP game?
They got, what's his name?
I think this is doable.
They got Steve Bloom.
Close.
Okay.
I'll give you 3 guesses. Give me 2 more.
They got Cam Clark.
Nope. Also close.
They got Haley Joel Osment.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
That's a good guess, though. That makes me laugh. They got Spike Spencer.
Okay.
You know Spike from anime such as Excel Saga, where he played Dr. Gojo Shoji, as well as something called Rebuild of Evangelion, where he played someone named Shinji Ikari.
Oh, Ikari Shinji.
From games, you know my guy as Claude C. Kenny in...
Claude C. Kenny and Psycho is...
Sentence fragments? Just... Chris's brain is just rotating through video games and saying the first word of all of them.
I'm trying to get Police Knots.
Star Ocean Second Evolution.
Okay.
Interion and Near Replicant. The guy. Did you watch any of this shit, by the way? This prologue?
I had oh, no, I didn't watch it. I didn't know it existed until now because it's not in the phone version, which I am playing.
They took it out.
Yeah.
Well, it's not there because it's the PSP visual palette.
Yeah.
The goddess Althena, she's here and she speaks.
Mm-hmm.
Eiffel, you mustn't cast your humanity aside. For it is the bonds of the human heart alone which are this world's.
Then she's interrupted. But Chris, Althena is voiced by, I don't know, it's not listed anywhere. Not on Moby Games, not behind the voice actors.
Okay.
Sorry for all people who wanted to know what Althena's voice was. Either way, Eiffel interrupts her.
Althena, ruler of the silver star. Those are the empty words of one who holds absolute power within their grasp. You fail to understand the depth of human greed.
Chris, does Althena have human greed?
Are humans made in Althena's image like the Christian god?
I guess we'll have to learn that, you know? Is
Okay.
Althena basically Jesus? I have no idea.
I guess maybe that is another fun expectation we can have. Is like, are we going to actually learn anything interesting about this pantheon?
Yeah. Like, what is the god tier list?
Is it just generic goddess, or is there something interesting like what's going on in
Is there a hell?
D&D lore and shit?
Althena looks down, but she counters.
It may be so. Yet it is this which I do understand. The strength which comes from the hearts of those who do believe. And I, for one, believe in that potential.
Eiffel is ready, though, Chris.
Is that so? And then what? What has this belief brought you? As of this moment, you are my prisoner. And your precious Dragon Master is nowhere to be found. No human possesses the ability to approach this undersea fortress, the Leviathan.
The undersea fortress.
Oh, the undersea fortress.
The Leviathan.
Yes.
Your rule is over.
The Black Omen.
We all recall the undersea fortress from Lunar, don't we?
No.
Althena counters.
You are wrong. This world shall not fail. It shall not.
This is the best writing so far. Eiffel hits Althena with a truth blast.
Then believe what you will, as you fade to nothing. In the flames of the Phenacheron!
Oh.
It's capital, it's proper noun. I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
The earth then shakes, we're rumbling, and Althena is absorbed into the elevator door behind her. What the hell was that? Eiffel, our favorite character from Lunar, revels in what I think is a victory.
At last, the time has finally come. The time in which I shall become the god of this world.
Whoa, Chris.
Whoa.
5 floating head clip art demons then teleport in here, which Eiffel identifies as the 5 princes of the Black Star.
Oh.
They're heeding Eiffel's covenant, and he's offering them the power of Althena, the entirety of her magic. Can you believe that shit?
I cannot believe any of this shit.
But the music stops. and we hear the most impassioned line delivery of all time.
Mm-hmm.
The line delivery is,
I won't let you.
Oh.
I won't let you.
the dialogue box is anonymous.
I won't let you.
Who do you think it is?
Dragon Master Dyne.
4 Heroes plays as Dragon Master Dyne, smirking and his chin-stroking portrait rolls up. He channels Solid Snake as he's sorry for keeping Eiffel waiting.
Yeah.
Sorry to have kept you waiting, Eiffel.
Galleon is here too. He tells Eiffel it's time to return the goddess.
It's time to return the goddess.
Chris, you know who voices Galleon?
Steve.
Troy Baker.
Troy. I was going to make a Troy Baker joke with the original one, but it didn't happen. Okay.
Troy Baker is the hero voice of all modern protagonists.
Yes. Okay.
Hell Mel teleports in. Lemia too, but fuck dude, she teleports in on top of Mel and smashes him with her fat ass.
Okay.
What a curious folly. What a welcome jape.
Yes, love japes.
Mel tells Lemia, get your fat butt off me.
Get your fat butt off me.
Mel, he's voiced, as we all know, by Christopher Corey Smith.
Okay.
You could recall Chris Core from Persona 5, where he voiced a character I don't remember called Kanikatsu Okamura. He was also Mewtwo in Detective Pikachu games and, oh dear, Kevin Winnicott in Xenosaga Episode 2.
Wow, okay.
Lemia takes offense to this characterization of her butt.
I am appalled by the language you're using. I shall report this to your wife, Lorena.
Chris, it appears the 4 heroes are all having their squabbles, their flaws. Lemia is voiced by Kate Higgins. Where do we know Kate from?
We know Kate Higgins from
Naomi from Mad World, and what else?
Naomi from Mad World and Dr. Naomi Campbell. I don't know. All the Naomis.
She has been Miles Tails Prower in most of the mid-odd Sonic games and all things Pauline since Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, wow. Is she the one that also does the voice in the movie?
I doubt it. Did the movie and games have crossover voice actors? FakeNet, is that true?
Tails did, I think.
Initializing FakeNet.
Crisp is half correct. The Sonic movie used the same voice actress from the Sonic games, but it was Colleen O'Shaughnessy who took over the role of Tails in 2014.
Mel begs forgiveness. Anything but that. Don't tell my fucking wife. The 4 hero... This is a chore for me to get through, but we have to do it. I'm sorry.
I understand.
The 4 heroes then line up to oppose Eiffel. Eiffel can't believe this shit, by the way. He thought Lemmy and Mel were dead. Mel tells Eiffel that...
I'm not dead till I'm 6 feet under.
Hell yeah, dude. You know what that confirms?
That he's not dead?
And that we're using Imperial units.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Eiffel hits our crew with some facts and some logic.
No matter the means, it's impossible to reach this place, dead or alive.
Beach volleyball.
That's right. Zach's Beach. Dyne reminds Eiffel to not forget who they're dealing with, but in a moment of comedic relief reminds Eiffel that this is also Might's doing. You know Might, the guy who farts.
Yeah, yes. Previously discussed Might.
Galleon forehead slaps and complains that he's going to be the one picking up the pieces once all this stuff is over.
A bit. I'm going to be the one picking up the pieces once this is said and done.
You know who's loving this shit? Dyne. His portrait does some grinning, then scratches behind his head, the ultimate anime move.
Yeah.
Eiffel throws a purple fireball at Dyne, but Dyne chops it up with his sword.
Okay.
Eiffel wonders how long Dyne will continue to stand in his way, and Dyne tells him,
As long as you keep continuing to go down the wrong path.
How about that line, Chris?
Wow, that's harsh.
Uh-huh.
It's like Judd Nelson.
Eiffel tells Dyne, except this shall be your last, and I do not know what that's in reference to. Eiffel turns his back, stands in the center of the 5 princes of the Black Star, and starts to channel their power to power up.
Anime power union here?
But the 5 princes then exchange dialogue that I firmly categorize as nonsense and did not reproduce.
Okay.
The 5 princes then exude power balls into Eiffel, granting him the power of a god. Lemia can't believe this shit, but Dyne recognizes it.
Without a doubt, it's Althena's power.
Oh. Mel delivers a line we fell in love with in our Star Ocean miniseries.
I'm alive for this one cup.
What the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell?
Here, let's do something. You start reading this shit.
I don't want to.
Nope, too bad.
I thought you were about to say it was over with. Eiffel threatens our party, and it's time for a battle as music, stand, and fight plays. We're the 4 heroes, all powered up, all skills, all magic. Are we playing the video game now?
We're playing the game.
Oh, wow, this is weird. One target, it's just Eiffel with all 5 princes hovering over his head. It's a rigged battle, you know, from JRPGs.
That's right.
Everyone on my team has superpowers, auto heals, you know the deal. Eiffel is never a threat. After the battle, music, Cry of the Black Star plays, and Eiffel can't believe the shit. He forehead slaps and doesn't know how he was defeated. Just like all villains. Dyne knows what time it is. He declares that the 4 heroes are here to reclaim Althena. Dyne approaches Eiffel, but is rebuffed by a terrifying invisible wall. Eiffel tells Dyne...
Such is the human vessel. Too fragile to harness the power of our leech.
Can't believe you didn't know that shit, dude.
The 5 floating faces These princes talk about how the vessel is sufficient for their own advent. Ooh, I love being sufficient
That's
for an
good.
advent.
That actually, I do tip my hat to that line.
Yes.
They finally wrote something neat.
For I desire a body wherewith to trample, destroy, and sow the seeds of terror. I love evil for the sake of evil, is the read here,
that's
right?
Kind of, just no motivation beyond that.
The 5 princes then merge for the kill with Eiffel. He then lets out a pain yell. We then transition to a different 2D plane, one where fucked Eiffel is now a tree creature with red spores, blue dreadlocks, and a white stone clown face. Wow. Mel notes that Eiffel has thrown away his humanity and is a bigger fool than previously thought. Galleon can't believe this shit.
Princes of the Black Star have descended using the power of Althena?
This thing now possesses the power of a god. It's more formidable than anything we've ever encountered. Dyne tells Galleon,
You can't be a real man if you're afraid to take risks.
Oh.
Chris, is it Eric, is this something that Dyne would say?
Do you think Dyne, is that a toxic masculinity trait? Most real men take risks.
I don't know if it's necessarily toxic. I would say...
Is Dyne a risk taker? He seems pretty sure of himself.
I think he's a risk taker and a risk breaker.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's necessarily toxic to say that you have to take risks. Is it toxic if you're talking to, an entrepreneur who says you got to take risks?
Yeah.
I guess it is.
Those fuckers. To me, Dyne always read as like the striking hero of light, whereas like Mel is like the gruff risk taker, like the
Good
fucking
point.
brawn.
Well, speaking of Mel laughs, having expected a manly line out of Dyne at a time like this. Lemia doesn't get it. Galleon slaps his forehead. Eiffel taunts, just generic stuff I don't feel like transcribing. Foolish mortal, defy a god, shit like that. I long for the perversion of working designs. I get it now. This makes me understand.
Just something not only dry, but also stupid.
Lightning then comes out of nowhere and strikes down Lemia, Mel, and Galleon. Dyne, though, he dodges it. My man has played Final Fantasy X. Yeah, I did that shit twice. Maybe he did. See our memory card stream. Maybe he doesn't dodge it. I can't tell, but Lemia and Mel are face down while Galleon and Dyne have taken a knee. Music. Althena's song Part 1 then plays. Eiffel can't believe this shit. He knows his voice belongs to Althena, but he can't feel any power in his sound because he has taken all the power for himself.
Futile attempt at nothing. What meaning doth an empty song such as this bear?
Dude, I hate this shit. I was also thinking that, and Eric also wrote it here.
Yeah,
we are of
I
one mind.
editorialized, dude, I hate this shit. That wasn't a line in the game.
Yeah. Dyne says it's not empty. Mel stands confirmed. It's the song that Althena sang as she journeyed behind them. Lemia stands and finishes Mel's sentence, teaching us that the joy and sadness of our world and all of its people's hopes, our dreams, are found within the melody.
Yeah, it's a wonderfully written thing. But this, in my estimation, this is the stuff where like our heroes are down and out, but then like they all start powering up with the power of positive thinking and shit like that.
Yes, the power of
teamwork.
Yes.
Together each achieves more.
Power of friendship. Now Galleon gets on it.
As she has ceaselessly watched over us with infinite compassion.
Like they all start finishing each other's sentences and stuff, talking about Althena.
Dyne finishes the friendship power thought.
Althena's true and undying love for this world and for all of her people. That is the meaning of this song. For as long as Althena believes in her people, we shall never suffer defeat. Now let us fight!
Eiffel then tells us that our pathetic nature is unrivaled. Now meet your eternal demise, humans. Music. Battle of Light and Shadow plays. Once the fucker is wasted, its mask drops, and then it disappears. Dyne screams Althena's name. He brandishes his sword and slices open Althena's elevator chamber. Althena materializes as music. Green Earth plays. She exits her weird-ass door and gives Dyne a hug. Mel speaks first. He's glad Althena is safe. Lemia says something not worth transcribing.
Oh, Althena! I'm glad that you're safe.
We have come for you, Althena.
Dyne blushes in anime and rubs the back of his head in anime. He's overjoyed to hear Althena's lovely voice again. Galleon gets everyone back on track. All 4 heroes surround Althena, and Galleon tells her that
Goddess Althena, the power maintaining this world's balance has begun to run out of control. It's only a matter of time till the Black Star collides with this world, destroying us all.
Althena tells our heroes that not all is lost, but there is one thing Eiffel said is true. She gets ready to say it, but then Dyne tells Althena she doesn't need to say it, so she doesn't say it. We have no idea what she didn't say. Was she going to say everything is fucked?
I think there's like lingering darkness still.
Okay, good. All right, sure, why not? Althena tells Dyne she will do what must be done.
Dyne, I will do what must be done. I shall proceed to the Goddess Tower in order to protect this world.
The gang uses celebratory language to tell Althena that they will escort her to the goddamn tower. 3 of the 4 heroes exit the stage, Althena with them. Galleon lingers behind. Eiffel's mask materializes and floats in the air. Galleon turns around to watch the mask and it speaks.
It is not over, Galleon. For I shall prophesy unto you, just as I now sit in ruin, so shall be your fate.
Galleon's portrait fills the screen. He says, fool.
Fool.
And then we suffer another earthquake. The fucking mask disappears. Galleon's face goes blank and he calmly exits the scene. We're taken to a modern living room. Alex and Luna appear to be there, looking quite a bit younger than they do in Lunar Silver Star Story Complete. Guess they're listening to a story told by their parents as their dad finishes.
That's also something I want to comment on is like the set decorations in the PSP version of the game are like 1994. Like it's kind of like unknown what time period Lunar takes in based on Silver Star Story Complete, like analogous to our own time, but it looks much more contemporary in the PSP game.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I guess they're listening to a story told by their parents as their dad finishes with. And so Althena was rescued by Dragon Master Dyne, the Sage Galleon, the Pirate King Mel, and the leader of the Magic Guild, Lemia, and peace was restored to the world. The end. It's a framing device, Eric. Alex's father, who never has a name, his name's Noah, actually, was telling the tale of our 4 heroes to Alex and Luna. It again, shitty writing here, but did they tell the part where Galleon and the mask did that shit? What?
So that whole thing was framed as like Alex's dad is telling this story as he has done many times to Alex and Luna. But did his dad know the part where the mask came back to life in corrupted Galleon?
I think that's I think it's a broken framing device.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Does everyone know that, or is like are we getting extra information here?
Yeah, that's wild. How long did this go on in real time?
20 minutes. God. We're not done yet, by the way.
Oh fuck! I hate this game.
Little Alex jumps for joy as music Tails, father and mother plays. Little Alex thinks Dyne is so amazing, and when he grows up, he wants to be a dragon master just like him.
Yeah, me too.
Alex's father assures me he will, but before he can do that, he needs to clean his plate and help out with chores around the house.
Oh.
And become the kind of strong boy who can stand up and protect Luna.
Yeah.
They ask Luna if she's heard that, and Luna doesn't respond. The parents, who are breathing heavily for some reason, demand the kids go to bed. The kids don't want to go to bed. The children protest more, but eventually agree to go to bed. I hate this shit.
The kids never want to go to bed.
This is making this episode of the podcast so much worse. After the kids leave, the parents agree that they are good kids. It's never clear who's speaking. There are no portraits or titles. One parent wishes these days will last forever. The other parent employs dramatic irony and tells them they will. That I can tell you. The world is at peace now thanks to Althena and the 4 heroes, and we didn't worry about anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Fade to white, get me the fuck out of here. Chris, I concur with Victor Ireland's opinion of this prologue.
Oh, yeah?
Play the sound clip.
The whole scenario at the beginning is unnecessary, I think. It really sort of takes away from the mystique of the 4 heroes.
He said it sucks.
It does suck.
That clip was taken from Retronauts Live 46, recorded in 2012.
So this was just something that was added by Game Arts?
So this was... Did Game Arts make the Harmony? I forgot who developed that.
Whoever fucking made this, yeah.
Initializing FakeNet.
Game Arts is the credited developer for Silver Star Harmony.
This was also in the era of low-budget PSP remakes and re-releases that had to have extra stuff as additional bullet points in the back of the box.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that phenomenon with the Final Fantasy Tactics stuff.
Yeah, like stuff...
Some of it was good, some of it wasn't.
I don't like meeting the 4 heroes before we meet the 4 heroes, but also this isn't the only time this happens. There's a scene later that they added, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Oh.
Why is this here? What are they doing? At least one. I'm about 5 hours into the game, and they've only added one more thing at this point.
From my memories, I remember enjoying how the world slowly builds itself. Like you travel, you learn a little bit more a piece about that world. You learn who the hero was from that region, etc. And this kind of like throws that in the trash.
Yeah, like the Eiffel stuff, the Black Princes, the fucking underwater base. Did they just make all of this up and they're going to tie it in later with the rest of Harmony? Or is this stuff that was like deep in the lore for Silver Star Story?
It was a note in the bathroom that somebody found. Like somebody threw this shit away. And
this idea I had
put it back in there.
Put it back in.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Send it in.
Fuck it. Send it in.
Well, let's start the actual game now, Chris.
Yeah,
we're going to get back into the PS1 version.
I would love to.
Silver Star Story Complete music. Now the story begins plays. We open on a dancing sprite of a boy sitting near a shrine positioned at the edge of a cliff. How do you feel about the character sprite always in motion?
I feel like it was a limitation of Nintendo for Dragon Quest, because like it reminds me of Dragon Quest, right?
They couldn't be static, right?
But then they kept it all the way through.
Like an anachronism just to make it go forward? Like, this is how games like this operate.
Yeah, I mean, that was the case in Dragon Quest 7. I don't think it was 8 until they stopped doing that shit. And so maybe it is a reference to that. Maybe it's a reference to the Sega CD needing to be like that for some sort of memory limitation or something. I don't know.
8 was also the first one that used polygons for Dragon Quest. Right?
Yeah. And there are, well, for the characters, yeah. There are moments when the characters stop perma-walking for like cutscenes and stuff like that. So I think it was just a remnant of JRPGs maybe. I don't know.
We're in a pastoral setting, a perfect sunny day. A lone shade tree sits near this monument, and a collection of nearby rocks discourages attempts at misadventure. The shrine overlooks an array of white-capped mountain ranges. In the sky sits the eternal blue planet. Right away, we hear our protagonist kick off the game with a narration.
I don't remember when it started exactly, but the dream of having a fantastic adventure in far-off places grabbed my heart early and has yet to let go. You see, my hero is Dragon Master Dyne. Outside my village, there's a monument made in his honor. His adventures were the most fantastic of all, fighting evil, risking death, protecting the goddess Althena. It's all so exciting. One day, I want to have adventures like that. But excitement of that kind is a long way from Berg.
Yeah, he's not necessarily reminiscing his enduring thoughts, but he's giving us like a slice of who he is. Because I don't think he doesn't, like, Alex has no formative memories yet, I don't think.
Yeah, we don't.
He's just like, I really fucking like this Dragon Master guy.
God, I love just coming up here every day and looking at this thing.
I really like to stare at this monument, and I love whacking off up here. I don't know.
That's right.
That's what he does, I guess. Back then, and I think even now, I find it a little jarring when little RPG sprites are voice acted. Like,
like it doesn't mesh correctly.
It doesn't.
Only
like,
polygons can speak the human tongue.
It doesn't resolve correctly in my brain. So, like when modern RPGs inspired by old RPGs have voice acting, like in Euydian Chronicle, for example, I don't like it. I want to turn it off. I just want to read it because I want to button through it, and I want
Family Feud Red X.
Yes. So it doesn't work for me, but here it's fine. I mean, it does like signify that, like, hey, this is the PlayStation.
We can do it. We have voice acting now in your video game. Chris, I learned Alex's last name today as I typed this on July 30th, 2024.
Yeah, I'm about to also learn this.
What's his name?
No, I'm also about to learn.
Alex Noah.
Oh, so he takes his father's... Yeah.
It's N-O-A, and his father is N-O-A-H, right?
Noah.
Okay, good.
So I know a lot of Indian people, and in a lot of Indian people, I've noticed their kid's first name is the father's last name.
That's tricky when you're filling out forms.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So I don't know if that's, I guess it's a cultural thing, so interesting.
Chris, Alex is voiced by Ashley Parker Angel in the Silver Star and Silver Star Story Complete. It's interesting because in Silver Star, his voice has not changed yet.
Really? Cool.
They were thinking in all the background materials that they wanted to change it because he wasn't a young boy, but they wanted the character in the Silver Star Story Complete to grow up a little bit, as it's a more mature version of that story.
Gotcha.
Where do you recall Ashley Parker Angel from the most?
Oh, I remember him. He was a background extra in the Coolio video for Fantastic Voyage.
Yeah, he actually got in the trunk third.
Yes.
No, you recall Ashley from O-Town and their wondrous one-hit Liquid Dreams.
O-Town, that's a boy band thing?
That was a boy band, yeah. That was like the 5th most popular one, of course, after we got Backstreet Boys, we got NSYNC, we got 98 Degrees, fucking Boyzone, I don't know.
You already said Backstreet Boys, right?
Yeah.
NSYNC?
Yep.
98 Degrees, O-Town.
Gotta be O-Town.
I don't think there's a 5th.
Ashley also had video game voice roles in Vi, Popful Mail, and Magic Knight Ray Earth, which are, of course, all Working Designs games.
And anime.
He's had a few live-action roles in the last few decades, and in 2023, he was a masked singer on a television show apparently titled The Masked Singer.
Yes. Do you know who the most jarring masked singer of all time was?
Gotta be the fucking guy from Lunar, Chris.
No. Rudy Giuliani.
Oh, God. Can he... Ugh.
I think like Ken Jeong was a judge on there and he got up and walked out.
What stage of Rudy was this? Was this like post?
This was like post
4 seasons.
Yes,
like hair melting. Fucking
this was
Borat 2.
This was the end of Rudy.
Oh God, the fucking. The crumbling waste of Rudy Giuliani. They put his ass
Yes,
in
there
there.
will never be a rebuild of Rudy. Rudy cannot be rebuilt.
God damn it.
Whatever fucking pile of pus he's melted into, that's just what he's going to be. I'm sorry, Rudy.
I'm not.
I'm
Fuck
not.
him. God damn it. That killed me. All right. In Silver Star Harmony, Alex is voiced by Yuri Lowenthal. Yuri's voice roles include everything. He has an entire Wikipedia page just for his filmography. But my favorite voice role, do you recall Eiffel being Kevin Winnicott in Xenosaga 2?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, Yuri was Kevin Winnicott in Xenosaga Episode 3.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yasuke in Persona 4, and Johnny in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Remake.
Oh, yeah. The Johnny was terrific.
Let's read the manual bio for Alex. You got your manual, Chris?
Yeah, and there's spoilers in here.
Alex dreams of one day becoming a dragon master like his hero Dyne, but to fulfill his dream, he must leave behind all that he holds dear. Much more is in store for young Alex than he realizes. Hopefully, he'll live long enough to tell about it. That seems innocent to me.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I don't really see much spoiling in any of these, actually. Okay.
I mean, the fucking disc for this game spoils what happens in this game.
Yeah, that's true.
Music, Berg plays, and we hear a new voice, a pitched-up companion of Alvin and his chipmunks. A reference that I am not sure still works for either Gen Xers or Millennials. In any case, we hear...
Alex! Oh, Alex! Where are you?
What then floats over to Alex?
It's Null.
What's Null?
The flying furball.
Chris, let's learn about Null. How about you read the manual since you're holding it?
Null sounds like a Nick Jr. character to me.
Yeah.
That's an American reference. I don't know what Nick Jr. is called in other parts of the world.
I don't think they still call it Nick Jr.
Yeah, they do.
They do?
I think they still call it Nick Jr.
Do the kids watch Nickelodeon, or are they all on the YouTube watching Mr. Beast?
Yes. I think the kids still watch Nickelodeon. I mean, they like SpongeBob, right? Also, the flying furball reference was Null's title in the Prima Strategy Guide. So every character has an alliterative title.
Oh, Jesus.
And Null's is a flying furball, and of course, Alex's is Yearning Youth.
Yearning Youth?
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Yes. Have you ever been a Yearning Youth? I think we all have. We've all yearned for something. It might just be cookies. Anyway.
It's usually cookies.
When Alex was a small child, a mysterious man gave his father this strange, winged, cat-like creature that unfortunately grew up with an attitude. He tends to get Alex into a lot of trouble by smarting off at the wrong time, but he'll get what's coming to him sooner or later. And all's he him.
Yeah, what struck me as weird, Null always read to me as female.
Yeah.
Other than he's probably the horniest character in this game, so maybe never mind.
Maybe.
Chris Null is voiced by Jackie Powers in the Silver Star and Silver Star Story Complete, same voice actor. All of Jackie's roles are, of course, in other Working Designs games, including Sheena Nira Sheena in Silhouette Mirage, Karen Langley in Growl Lancer 2, and Fair in Summon Night 6.
Summon Night 6.
Summon Night 6.
Yeah, that's the Gaijin Works. Isn't that what Victor called his company?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the recent game.
Gotcha.
Chris, I'm starting to think these voice actors are more friends of Victor than trained actors, but I could be wrong. On the making of disc, the audio engineer indeed mentioned they pitch shifted Jackie's voice to be even higher than it already was, and her speaking voice is already very high.
Wow.
In Silver Star Harmony, Null is voiced by Spike Spencer, who we've already talked about, but I want to point out that Spike Spencer also played somebody called Vanilla Beans in Steambot Chronicles.
Steambot Chronicles.
PS2 game. Highly sought after. Good art style.
Steambot Chronicles. Got it. Okay.
Spike also voiced Eiffel. From there, we transition to an anime cutscene. Alex turns around and greets Null. Null, a flying cat with white fur, auburn eyes, and black front paws, a beige mohawk, and of course, flapping wings, hovers down to meet Alex at eye level. Null has been flying all over everywhere for the last half hour, shouting Alex's name, but he should have known Alex was going to be where Alex always is, Dyne's monument. As Null moves to land on Alex's shoulder, and Alex is like, yeah, dude, where else would I be? We get a better look at Dyne's monument. It's a weathered headstone with moss creeping up the bottom, along with a rusty, very shitty-looking sword plunged into its center.
Yep.
Null reads the monument.
In honor of the great Dragon Master, Dyne. I know that Dyne was probably the greatest of the four heroes, Alex, but I'm amazed that you never get tired of coming to stare at his dull monument. Oh, shoot. I just remembered. We better go meet Luna to practice singing. If we're late, she'll be upset.
If you're playing the PS1 version, the concept of Dragon Master Dyne is being introduced right here. What do you think Dyne's alliterative title is in the Prima Strategy Guide, Eric?
Dragon Master Duke.
Close. Dead Dude.
Dead Dude.
Dead Dude.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Show him the respect he deserves, Chris.
Yes. How do you feel about Null's flapping? Mouth flapping?
It's okay. I wasn't really paying attention to dubs this time. Like, to me, all cartoons were kind of fucked because I grew up on Transformers with, 3 Thundercrackers simultaneously.
Yeah.
So, like, I wasn't expecting a lot from this stuff.
A lot of words going into a very few amount of lip flaps.
Oh, you're trying to, like, when they just tried to jam whatever it was in there?
And it makes some of his speech sound rehearsed.
On the making of disc, they actually had, like, the voice actors watching CRT clips as they said their lines to try to actually sync it a little bit, I guess.
I mean, I think that's how anime dubbing goes now anyway.
Well, that's how it goes now, but I thought it would just be people in a fucking booth reading off cue cards.
No, that was Xenogears.
Dyne's Monument. Berg plays, Naw continues his dialogue box. Alex, we better... Also, in the past, with characters that talk like this, like Choo Choo and Chrono Cross,
Chris and I have pitched ourselves up. Yeah.
We're committing to not do that with Null because it's annoying enough on its own.
We're not doing that.
I mean, if you send me the file, I'm not going to unfuck it. I might try, but I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that.
Alex, we better get moving. Luna's patience with us will only stretch so far. We better not test the limit. Logins in formation. What does that mean, Chris?
Party's in.
This is a characters follow you around type video game.
Except in dungeons.
Oh, yeah, it's just Alex in dungeons. You don't have to train.
Alex is supposed to be practicing with Luna.
Yeah, they're supposed to be doing for some kind of festival. They're supposed to be practicing. He plays the ocarina, she sings.
Yes, in the Sega CD version, he played like a harp or something.
And I thought they just called an ocarina a harp. No, they literally changed the instrument. He plays a harp.
Yes. The guide points this out, and it also makes a joke about Link filing a lawsuit.
I was going to say, have you heard of an ocarina in your fucking life before Zelda?
No. Yeah. Absolutely not. That joke is kind of a dud, but like in today's context, when everybody knows that Nintendo is like litigious, it turns into a good joke posthumously.
As of this taping, we're not sure how bad they're going to eviscerate the PAL World developers.
No, they are currently trying to file a patent for a video game character who plays an ocarina and also a sword.
That's right.
Yeah.
Both.
Alex is being sued. Back to the game.
The tree leaves above the monument, now shift and move with wind, and we have control.
It looks great, by the way, this whole vista.
Yeah, it's
perfect.
The sprites are like joined together in shuffle and move.
In the Sega CD version, it's just a fucking like monument, like a gravestone. Yeah. It's very dull looking.
We'll get to it's non-distinct. This is a game that has character portraits on the left side of the dialogue box. I'm level 1. I know that because it tells me in the bottom right corner of the screen. My HP is 32, my MP is 10.
Congrats.
This only appears if you're idling for a second like you're taking notes for a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I head down the screen, but then the world rumbles. The cliff shakes. Control is taken away. Null pauses the action to say, whoa, another earthquake! That's the third one this week, but what could be causing this? You know what's causing it, Chris?
Surprise Null portraits?
Foreshadowing.
Oh. I was going to say a fat kid.
On PSP in Silver Star Harmony, Null reacts by saying, holy buckets, instead of whoa.
On PSP, he says that?
He says holy buckets.
Holy buckets.
Holy buckets.
He also theoretically says that in Silver Star Touch, but I haven't played that one.
Buckets of holy water.
Can we start saying holy buckets? I kind of like that.
Yeah, holy buckets. It's pretty good. It is cathartic to say that out loud.
But as Chris just referenced, when the Sega CD version launches, it's really nondescript. Like, we open on a world map in the village of Berg. We get 2 dialogue boxes for a narrative prologue that tells us about Dyne, a dragon master, a hero who arose at the time of trial and saved the world.
You've just cut all that shit out of the PSP version. You got it all right there in 2 dialogue boxes.
That's all you need.
Yes.
The Sega CD version is not verbose at all. It does not explain itself. It gives you the basic needs with a bit of spice.
Mm-hmm.
We then scale some sprites, a power only possible through the Sega CD, and zoom in on Berg. We find Alex at night amongst the trees, standing at a shrine built near a clearing. Text tells us that Dragon Master Dyne was born in the sleepy village of Berg, and it's here that a young boy named Alex visits the memorial to his fallen hero every single day. There's no cliff, no sword, no weathered grave. It's a solitary monument in the middle of a clearing.
Wow.
Did you read this as a grave when you were first played it instead of a monument?
No, and I think the lusciousness of the color palette in the PS1 version makes it not feel like that. It makes it feel like something that's a little bit more happy and hopeful. Not that you can't have
I can read that.
Not that you can't have a grave in a beautiful scene, but it just reads differently.
The fact that the sword was rusted made it seem slightly like heroes long past and the days of weathered it and no one cares anymore. Like, Alex is the only one still holding a candle for this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Back in Sega CD, Null rolls in with a fully voiced Alex, oh Alex, and chastises his boy for visiting the grave every day.
Look up to Dragon Master Dyne, but this is ridiculous. If Dyne were still alive today, I'm sure he'd tell you to stop dreaming about his exciting quest, get off your butt, and set out on your own fantastic adventures. I know you have the courage to be a great hero, just like Dyne. So what's holding you back?
Berg plays on Sega CD, that music. Null speaks with the portrait. It's a limited color palette smiling cat. Null's wings flap and his mouth moves, but otherwise the animation is fairly limited and era appropriate. Back in the game, Null reminds Alex that he promised Luna he'd practice singing with her today. If you examine the monument, it says Dyne's spirit is peacefully resting here.
So it is a grave.
In Sega CD, I think it's interpreted. Or it could be working designs making shit up. We're back in the PS1 version. A blue-haired individual starts inching his way up the cliff. It kicks out to an anime cutscene. A bigger boy with brown eyes tucked behind massive glasses fills half the screen with his face.
Yeah, his hair's no longer blue.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how do you feel about that?
It's always bothered me.
That his hair is not blue?
His hair is not blue in the anime or the portrait. It's the same in the Sega CD version.
Yeah.
It's just, that's what he is. I don't know. I guess they drew his little sprite and then they were like, well, he looks too much like Alex.
Yeah, so they need to have differentiation here. Didn't Link have fucking pink hair or something in Link to the Past? What am I remembering Link being pink of?
Link being pink of? That was, yes, he did.
Okay, so we're once again copying Zelda.
Yes.
My guy goes on when his mouth flaps in the wind.
Hey, Alex. I figured you might be here. Now that the warm weather has melted the ice near the Dragon's Cave, there isn't any time to waste getting started on our big adventure. If we hurry, we may be able to sneak in without waking the dragon. Then we can get a fantastically huge diamond from its lair worth thousands and thousands of silver, making us filthy, stinking rich and very popular in the process.
Again, I'm put off here by the cadence of the mouth flaps. It's a little bit intense, and there's probably more English words that are needed to get the point across.
Yeah.
It's more so than the Japanese text, but it still feels excessive. Like
and they talk very fast.
Oh yeah, he says it all in one breath, and this game doesn't really portray Ramses as a guy who has one breath.
Motor mouth type
Yes.
thing. Did you say Ramses?
I may have said Ramses.
All right.
I wrote Ramses a couple times, but
I have too.
Sorry in
No, it's
advance.
fine.
Season 1.
Ramus clenches his hands and raises them toward his chin during that last line. Let's learn about Ramus Farmane.
Farmane?
Farmane.
That's his last name, according to the data information.
Ramus is the son of village elder in Berg and Alex's friend. He hopes that Alex will one day get over his fascination with Dragon Master Dyne. His one ambition in life is to become filthy rich. He wants it all. Fast horses, expensive food, and beautiful women. It's Ramus's craving for fame and fortune that starts Alex's adventure.
Is that a fucking thing? Fast horses, expensive food, beautiful women. Like, is that from a movie that I haven't seen?
The only fast horse metaphor or whatever I've heard is like, come to Kentucky where the horses are fast and the women are faster.
What?
That means they will fuck you faster than the typical woman.
Then the horse will fuck you. I get it. Yeah.
I'm not condoning that phrase. I'm just saying I've heard it before.
It's totally cool, totally legal. Ramus is voiced by Nancy Davis.
Thanks, Nancy.
Nancy also voiced, as everyone knows, Glug in Popful Mail.
Yeah.
In Silver Star Harmony, Ramus is voiced by Bryce Papenbrook. Bryce was obviously Guang Ping in a lot of Dynasty Warriors games.
Yeah.
Adol Kristen in Ys Memories of Celceta and Ys 9 Monstrum Nox, and Mashina Kunagiri in Final Fantasy Type 0 HD.
Oh, a game I've definitely played.
Dude, yeah, I've played that game. I finished that game. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Sega CD, whenever a character is introduced, they get this wonderful music. It's called Character Intro. It's a bouncy little tune.
Yeah, I've heard it. It's great.
He greets Alex in a non-voice cutscene. I call these bitmap cutscenes.
Okay.
Bitmap cutscenes. Had to get a clean take.
Bitmap.
His character portrait literally scrolls in from the left side of the screen on Sega CD. He's backed by a blue to white gradient. Music Berg resumes. We get back into the game. Ramus speaks. Something about the Dragon Cave, huge diamond, big adventure, all that stuff. It's kind of the same thing, but he wants to go home and get some snacks.
Yep.
And we go back to the PS1 version. Dyne's Monument, Have a Big Dream plays, and we're back to the game. Null knows what's up. He asks Ramus if he's talking about the Dragon Diamond. Null confirms you heard it right. I love the Ramus portrait design. Glasses, chubby face, Boy Scout neckerchief, perfect. A wonderful best friend guy who's about to get in way over his head.
Yeah.
Ramus then tries to yaz. Boy, come on, Alex. You always dreamt about going on a big adventure. Let this be our first. Do you buy that these boys have never left Berg on any kind of adventure?
I buy it because they're pretty young, and like once we get to the world map, there's nothing around here except for the fucking haunted woods.
I mean, yeah, there's haunted woods like a mile to your left, and there's mountains everywhere. You don't think they ever escape to ride bikes down the fucking beach?
Oh yeah, they've been doing shit like that, but they've never actually gone to anything where they had to bring weapons.
Okay, no, yeah, you're right. That's a good read. Ramus no-sells Alex's less than enthused response of dots. Well, while you're deciding, I'll stop by my house and grab some snacks for the trip. See ya. Chris, did you take note of how Sia is written?
Is it with a C?
C''YA.
Okay.
I haven't seen that in years.
Sia.
That died in the 90s and never even made it to texting on telephones.
Yeah, you're right.
Ramus trots off. Nall tells Alex we have to do this. It could be the adventure of a lifetime. Once we get going, I just hope Ramus doesn't turn into a baby at the first sign of monsters.
Yeah.
But Luna is going to be upset. She doesn't like you putting yourself in danger. How are you going to tell her, Alex? Berg resumes and we have control.
I can play the game, explore the first screen, run back to the monument, and then Null will read it for me.
Read me the monument.
In honor of the great Dragon Master Dyne, rest well, fair protector of all that is good. Your memory lives on in the hearts of us all. That's what Null says. I want an RPG, by the way, where a hero worships a statue his whole life, but then through the course of the adventure, he learns out that he's like a Confederate general or something.
Yeah.
Like, this guy actually sucks.
I feel like that's happened before. Like, this hero you're worshiping wasn't actually the hero. He was just the victor.
Yeah, that would be cool if that concept was explored more in a game. Maybe it will be.
Fucking Suikoden.
What?
Your isn't a hero.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's a little bit different.
This is maybe the best opening screen of any game we've covered.
Yes.
Right?
It has to be, yeah. Huff, huff. And the next thing we can do is go explore the fucking city, but we are out of time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We spent too much time on the prologue. We got past the title screen. Just give us credit for that.
We made it. We've done it. That's what we're all about. But before we get out of here, let's consult the RealNet.
Initializing RealNet.
Hello, RealNet. Incorrect Blitz input says, I used to get Sailor Moon subtitles from some dude in Canada.
I love anime acquisition stories before it was like available to purchase for prices that would bankrupt your wallet.
I had two guys.
Locally or online?
Online.
Did you send like money orders to that guy?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I started off with money orders, but then once I acquired a decent library of tapes, I started making copies of them and trading.
Did you have a job at this point, or were you giving your mom like grass cutting money to go to the store to get you a money order to mail to some guy in Alaska?
I had a job. I had some income.
You had a way to do this yourself without getting parental interference. Like, take me to the goddamn post office, mom.
But once I had enough episodes of, this was almost all Dragon Ball. Once I had enough episodes, I would just make copies of them and then trade. So all I had to do is pay for shipping and stuff.
Yeah.
That worked. I never got ripped off at all. Everybody was like always...
When you were trading, did you ever get what was clearly like a 9th generation tape copy?
They all were already.
Oh, man.
My favorite ones were the ones that still had the commercials on there.
Yeah.
The Japanese commercials.
The good stuff.
Great. Yeah.
Wait a minute. How did you copy VHS tapes in the 90s? Did you have two VCRs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You had to play the whole thing and copy it. So it was
you had to like let it play out.
It was a task to do it. It was wild shit back then.
Dad never came downstairs like, what the fuck are you doing with two VCRs? What do you mean I can't watch TV for 40 minutes?
He knew what I was doing.
Right.
He knew it was up. I usually did them overnight. I did like
smart.
a tape overnight.
Yeah.
Cal-El says, rest in peace, Sunko's video. Yeah, on that same topic.
I don't know, man. I mean, they had it, but they priced it like they knew no one else had it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true. I mean, it was not. It was a good store to go in and...
Have your buddy steal VHS tapes?
Absorb the vibes. Yes. Shoplift, basically. Eric Fernand says Althena was voiced by herself.
Yeah, that's actually just Althena.
Yeah. Pork says, do the princes in the PSP intro count as a council of fucked up guys? Did they ever have like a conversation?
I mean, I'm hesitant to call them guys because they're like clip art masks.
Clip art mask, council of clip art mask. Okay. Sorry, they're not, according to Eric.
The PSP version, and I'm sure this is in my notes, is so cheap.
What do you mean by cheap?
Low, like I don't think they had much money to work with.
They didn't have money for fonts or something?
Like every town is one small screen.
Really?
The dungeons are 1 to 2 screens packed with enemies and you can't move until you kill all of them. It seems like, you know what, have you ever seen a movie where they film a jungle but they don't have enough money to build a jungle set, so it's like a camera that's real close on 2 fake trees? It's shit like that.
Neat says the perversion of working designs implies that it wasn't perverted from the start.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe there's degrees of perversion. Essence of perversion.
Eric Fernand says Alex just loves going up to the statue and thinking about how much he loves not having a grand quest forced upon him and having a happy family life.
Yeah, how would things have turned out for Alex if Ramus wasn't in on Dragon Diamond?
It's his destiny. It would have turned out that way anyway. He would have had to go to the mainland to copy some VHS tapes.
That's right. Have to return some videotapes.
He had to get some money orders. Cal-El says he hopes that Luna's title in the guide is Lovely Lyricist.
That's pretty good.
It's not it.
Oh.
It's way worse. I may have forgotten to write it down in my notes here, so I'll have to go look it up in a second. But I remember it being bad.
Loose Lady.
Not quite. Eric Fernand gets it. Holy buckets, because buckets can have holes. You don't want to have a holy bucket.
Well, the bucket has one big hole on top.
But you don't want to have holes in the bottom of the bucket.
No, you don't.
Unless you want the bucket to drain. You ever wanted a bucket to drain?
My water heater is technically a large bucket with a hole in the bottom, and I need to drain that thing to salvage my latest attempt at fixing it.
Yes. Okay. All right, RealNet. Thank you for joining us on this episode tonight. We'll see you in the next episode of Retrograde Amnesia. This episode is a production of Retrograde Amnesia, recorded on October 1st, 2024. Thank you, Mark, for the introductory music.
You're welcome, Chris.
And thank you, Steph, for the podcast artwork.
Thank you, Super Hero Gaming, for the PSP footage, and Nintendo Complete for the Sega CD footage.
Email the podcast at podcast@retrogradeamnesia.com or find us on Twitter, YouTube, and at patreon.com/retroam. Get early access, bonus episodes, miniseries, and more. All there at patreon.com/retroam. Until next time, Eric.
Yes, we will kill the Magic Emperor.
And now, you may go back to sleep. What is Super Dodgeball? And also, what's the game the Neo Geo game where you throw the discs?
Fucking Windjammers?
Windjam. What if Super... Anyway, thanks. God, just tell me when you're ready to turn the fucking PlayStation
All right,
on.
we put our power...
Put your
That's the
power...
worst thing I've said.
Us that joy and sadness of our world... What?
Music Berg plays when we hear a new voice. A pitched-up companion of... I wrote Alvin. A pitched-up companion of Alex in his... No, I did that correctly. Fuck it, do the whole thing over. Music Berg plays when we hear a new voice. A pitched-up companion... The Rudy thing fucked me up, dude.
I'm sorry.
We find Alex at night amongst the... Fuck, where am I?
Be
Can't believe you didn't know that shit, dude.
Chris.
I forgot I read Chris a lot.
Yeah, it's funny. The five...
Cut this in later. Thank you, Super...
I was going to say a fat kid.
What's null?
The flying furball.
It's a flying...
Galleon turns around to watch just as the mask...
I won't let you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take back over. Unless you want to keep reading.
I'll keep going.
All right.
How long does this fucking shit
It's
go
5
on?
pages, dude.
It is not over, Galleon, for I shall prophesy unto you, just as I now sit in ruin, so shall be your fate. I have the sound clip?
No, I'll have to play it later.
Okay.
Let us make haste, for I desire no body wherewith to trample, destroy, and sow the seeds of terror.
The
Did not flub at all.
No, it wasn't a flub.
There was no fucking flub. It was not a flub.
You want to see that playback?
No, come on, let's do it. Fuck it.
This is awful.
Play